Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. I was waiting for the music there, thought it wasn't going to start. So we're back with another cast. Torrent sent me this game. Apparently it's very interesting and fun, so we are going to check it out. It's a ladder game, as we can see. And it's between Zlo and ThomasHiatt, both playing Cybran. This game was played before the latest balance patch. If you want to check out what changed, then at the start of my last stream I went through it, and also you can check out the patch notes and post your feedback on the forums. Also, we have a new caster, Function, and his first cast will be linked under the stream. Sounds like he may be an Aussie or he may be from New Zealand. I don't want to get those mixed up, but I also am not confident enough with my accents to tell one from the other. So go check out his cast. Subscribe to his channel. Give him some feedback on his casting. Now, already I want to get into this game because Lo is walking out of his base and he's using his ACU to grab the reclaim here, but very unusual he seems to have walked after a factory, and maybe he built 2 mechs as maximum with his ACU, I would say. And now he's walking very quickly, grabbing tree reclaim, grabbing those big rocks. Has to redo his order because he can't quite walk up the cliff there. It's actually a lot of single trees that he got there, and he was hoping for tree groups, I'm sure. So we can look at what ThomasHiatt is doing. This is much more normal. He sent a couple of engineers to the Hydra while his ACU built not too many PGens and focus on factories. After the 3rd factory he's gonna leave. He won't have mass for more than 4 factories at the start, that's for sure. Actually, he doesn't even have mass for these factories, to be honest. So not the best build order. Yeah, very slow on this reclaim, that's the issue here. If he had this 300 mass here from these 2 rocks, I think he would have been able to build both those factories, most likely. Would have been close, but I think he could have done it. Probably need to send one this way earlier instead of one of these expanding engineers. The reclaim hits faster than building a mechs, although the expansion is going to help you in the long run. Gesture out for his low. He's gone first land, walked with his ACU, then the engineers have built a Hydra and an air factory, then a third land factory, and he's just gone for a gesture at that 2nd air factory. Unfortunately for Zlo, there's already an interceptor out, and a 2nd interceptor is 70% completed. First kill for the jester is coming. There it goes. How many more kills is it gonna get? I mean, it's already half HP. It's killing a mechs. That's not very useful. It's not going to kill the mechs. It's going for the engineers. That's what it really needs to kill. And it looks like it's only going to get 1 more kill. And 161 mass dropped in Thomas's base that he doesn't seem to be reclaiming. That's a big chunk of mass. Biggest single chunk of mass on the map. Except for, well, what this could turn into, and maybe the Civ building is similar value. But Zlo's already across the map, but it doesn't seem like he's even that much faster than Thomas somehow. Zlo also skipping this mechs, although he did get a kill on that way. Thomas with a nice raid, common spot to be raided on this map, and that's a dead engineer. However, the mantis will be caught and killed and the mechs will stay pumping away. But it does deny a nice radar position here, and possible PD was a PD was planned there for his low as well, so those will certainly be denied. Not the greatest raid ever, not the worst. PD forced in Thomas's base to keep the ACU at bay, but this may only tell Zlo that he needs to just walk around. Usually in this situation you would just move to the bottom, kill the Hydro. He could also then kill the PGen, so I'm not surprised Zlo isn't doing that, because he could already have a lot of damage done. Zlo, meanwhile, delays his PD to the last possible moment, and maybe it's not even the last possible moment. Maybe it's not. Well, he is going to finish it, but he needs to get the walls up to protect it fully. And Zlo, Thomas is maybe taking a lot more damage than he needs to. Very good Mantis focusing the Medusa. 2 Medusa go down. 3rd Medusa needs to be targeted now. He has a chance to take it out, but he doesn't take it. Thomas loses 2,500 HP to that PD. On Zlo loses those engineers. The Medusa gets focus fired. It's worth it to suicide a couple Mantis in that situation to get rid of the Medusa and therefore keep the PD alive. As we can see, the next Medusa is here, and then the next one after that is here, so again, opportunities to snipe the Medusa and keep PD alive. The PD has even been repaired actually, so nice move from Zlo. The walls are regenerating slowly. T2 max is also up for Zlo, has been up for Zlo, which is very big on this map. Makes the raiding a lot less painful, makes having a bit less map control less painful for sure. And that mix is a very, very nice card to have in your hand. Thomas with his own gesture, and it gets nothing done. Gets killed. Thomas was not protecting it at all. Quite bad airplay from Thomas there to just have the gesture on one side and his inties on the other. And Zlo had less inties there, so definitely there was an opportunity for Thomas, even if he loses his gesture, to win air, but instead he loses the gesture, doesn't win air, and it's all bad. All those inties that he made have not been that useful. Gesture comes out and snipes more Medusa for Zlo. Nice one. Although I'm still disappointed he didn't come around here. He could have killed 180 power income of Thomas here without much trouble, which also would have surely secured air for Zlo. Instead he walked around here, has been basically raiding mexes with his ACU, and it's also been quite effective, it has to be said, because Thomas has taken quite a long time to replace those mexes. It's also disrupting the reinforcements to Thomas's ACU. Thomas now building a forward anti-air turret. Wants to be able to keep his inties at the front and wants to protect himself versus himself and his Medusa against gestures. Also, it looks like Zlo's lost his gesture as well. Let me see. I don't see Zlo's gesture around, so I guess it has been killed. This anti-air turret is doing work and manages to actually win air for Thomas when he would have otherwise certainly lost it, I'm quite sure. Zlo got a very nice he had a nice start to that fight, but hard to win close air fights with anti-air underneath you. A second T2 Mex is up for Zlo. Thomas not reacting with eco at all at the moment, but still with the lion's share of the map control. Zlo has lost a ton of health basically just to this gesture. He had lost some to units and the other gesture, but I think this gesture has been shooting at him non-stop for a long time, and it hurts. He's below 5k HP now. Meanwhile, Thomas above 8k again after, with his nice regen he has. Walking into PD, slightly gonna hurt him there. Looks like these Medusa got killed by a rival Medusa, I would guess. So again, nice kills. Forward factory for Thomas, and Thomas also lost the anti-air at the front. Again, Mantis come in and snipe some Medusa there, I think. Did we lose some Medusa? Well, PD and Medusa defend for Zlo. Quite a nice defense. The Jester goes down. Some anti-air, not the best use of a Jester, although there's not much to use the Jester on now, except maybe if he made a couple of Jesters he could go after the sides, take out the anti-air, and then take out the T2 PD that's defending on either side. And Thomas got to feel a little worried. He's been at the front a long time, and Zlo is making T2 in the water, has been for a little while now, and he's about 2/3, 3/4 of the way there. Zlo with the superior income in terms of mass and power. Mass given to him only by those T2 mexes. Thomas finally reacting to Zlo's eco with some of his own. I like that Thomas hadn't added a lot of T1 factories. I mean, he has added... Oh wow, he lost another one. He has added... Well, I say he hasn't added some, but we have one here and one at the front as well, so bit of an extra investment. He does have more units, it's certainly the case. 50 tanks and 10, yeah, he has double the tanks of Zlo. And now that T2 mech finishes and the second one starts, unsurprising, Zlo has begun work on his third mechs. And actually Zlo moved a lot of his units away here, and this is a very bad move order. I think this is he just made an error in where he was clicking there, just some kind of misclick, and he's lost his PD as he has no defenses against the Medusa. This is both PD here, which makes him very vulnerable. However, his ACU has finished his upgrade, and this is a dangerous weapon now coming towards Thomas's unupgraded commander. Bomber coming in now. What's it going to aim for? Engineers, power. Oh, it's going for radar first, and the bomber goes down. Thomas can win air though. It's time. It's definitely time to win air now. Thomas also with a lot more units here. He could run these into the base, could kill power, could kill T2 mexes, so I think he's about to do that, probably. Looks like Thomas wants to run away with his ACU, and it's after he's taken down the defenses in the base. He seems to want to run away. I mean, Zlo's commander is very powerful. Thomas certainly wouldn't want to commit his ACU into the base and get trapped by this powerful commander, but he definitely missed an opportunity for damage here. These mexes were vulnerable and this power was vulnerable. But the danger is past for Zlo, and now you can see maybe the disadvantage of Thomas's map control there. He's now left a lot of reclaim on Zlo's side, and he's going to give up the map control. Thomas is going to go back to probably even map control very soon, although he still has some more units than Zlo does. Zlo gets access to some more mexes, but more importantly, look at this reclaim field, especially this one here. 1500 mass on screen. Over here we have another 600 on screen. So yeah, quite significant amounts of reclaim for Zlo to grab. Needs to grab it quickly and turn it into some useful units, because he is still behind in the land and has lost air as well. So it's still catching up to do for Zlo. T2 air is on the way for Thomas. 4 T2 mechs now in the base, and I think maybe we'll see storages before we see any more T2 mechs. At this point you don't want to upgrade this mech, obviously. I mean, it's under imminent threat. Multiple jesters for Thomas. One of them goes down, the second one will likely go down as well. Will the third one go down? Oh, Thomas not defending his jesters. He actually loses all of them. And there's 2 vets on these on these inties. Again, Thomas not defending his air units, his attacking air units, despite having more inties. And Zlo gets away with that one again. Is Thomas making an upgrade? He is not. Does he know that? He should know that there's a T2 ACU. He has encountered him. And he's actually started the gun, but there's a T2PD just started now. And Thomas should cancel this immediately. Oh no, this is bad. The positioning of the PD means that actually Thomas is just under a little hill here. Now, I don't know if he knew that as he started the upgrade. Somehow I doubt it, but so I did not know there's such a steep hill here. But that is very annoying for Zlo. He's going to walk forward and start building T1 PDs in Thomas's face instead. But the Medusa immediately stunning the PD, rendering it basically useless. It looks like it's shot less than half the time it's been alive. Now the Mantis come in. Thomas does not want to cancel the upgrade at this point. He has been assisting it. It's about 3/4 of the way there. He does not want to cancel, so he's going to commit his units and try to finish it. Zlo is going to start reclaiming Thomas's units with his ACU, which is a very high DPS maneuver. Thomas is going to finish his ACU, but it's going to cost him a large army. Now all of Zlo's army on the map is heading this way. T2 gunship just flies in randomly and dies versus a single anti-air turret. Thomas also loses air, and Thomas is going to have to retreat away from this ACU, even though he has the gun upgrade. These PDs have been doing a lot of damage. He's getting blocked as he tries to get in the water. Zlo builds a radar for some reason. I have no idea why. I mean, obviously it's obvious why he would build radar, but not exactly at that moment. He could continue. Oh, he's actually not chasing. I was thinking here, you can keep the enemy ACU in range, follow them. You have Omni, so could simply follow that ACU wherever. He has a huge advantage in HP, so it's if Thomas wants to come out of the water, it's going to be very annoying because he's going to immediately have a T2 ACU right next to him. However, maybe Zlo thinks he's, after this fight, has such a big advantage that he can simply make a PD and just take the reclaim and be in a very good position. TML for Thomas. Thomas also was preparing a T2PD here to allow his ACU to come out of the water on this side and keep keep Zlo at bay. You can see the positioning here was right there, which is far enough away from the water that the T2 ACU would have to, he hopes, respect it. And but actually, looking at the terrain, looks like it probably would have shot the ground. More T2 mexes for Zlo. He has 5 now, and yeah, now he's making storages, so he doesn't want to make too many more outside his base. Oh, he's making this one into T2. His TML. Oh, it's flying. What's it aiming at? Probably aiming at maybe this mex. He may be afraid these front 2 mexes may be defended by this mountain, which you can see the air is perched on. Oh! Did the TML just hit the air? It hit this inti, which has now been completely vaporized. Or did it? It did, yeah, it did. I'm not just imagining things. There's the dead gunship from Thomas perched on the mountain as well. Well, that's quite a block. That's new TMD meta from Zlo there. Oh, who am I kidding? That's not new. Right, 4th T2 mex for Thomas. So he is behind an eco, behind big time, just behind. Also, with only 2 vet levels, his regen is not stellar, but he is back to 4,300 HP. Zlo, full HP, makes his own TML now. Thomas pauses his TML, but doesn't reclaim it. He also has half a missile built, so this is not really the best use of TML. You want to... I mean, he should have continued making it because, I mean, there are targets. This is a target. There's no TMD covering this. Zlo now making TMD. The 2 TMDs right next to each other. It's not great. Not exactly maximizing his coverage there. But also, yeah, now Zlo is going to TML this. It will die and leave no reclaim. Instead, Thomas could have reclaimed this himself after he gave up on it and got back significant amount of mass. Instead, it's gone forever now. This is a nice raid. You need CML when you have a gun ACU to kill T2 mexes. It's also going to give him a significant amount of vet. Goes, he's almost on his 3rd vet level now. And finally, the sides are being taken. 20 minutes into the game, the gunship takes out the anti-air, the radar, the pigeon, and the T2PD, and there's an engineer. Almost there now. Thomas gets his 3rd vet level, 8k HP, and dropping quite rapidly to Horde of Mantis and anti-air. Difficult to know whether it's worth it to trade those Mantis for Thomas's HP, but I would say it's more than likely worth it, as the reclaim looks like it'll go to Zlo if he is diligent. Thomas down to 5k, but with more veterancy. Zlo is stacking T2 mexes and storage. He's also made T2 air. He's reclaiming some factories. No T2 land from either player. Nobody wants to invest in that for some reason. I mean, don't really see an issue with making T2 land, but neither of them really are interested in it. It's Zlo in such a commanding position with such a good economy. Seems like T2 land would be completely reasonable and an investment he could afford, but he's doesn't seem to want to invest in too much stuff except for some T2BDs and continuing to just spam a small amount of T1 land as well. T2 land, he's probably not interested in making that versus a gun commander. Zlo walking towards this gun ACU with his ACU, and he has no PDs around. Well, he has one back here. Let's see what the terrain looks like for that. Ah, you can see Zlo making sure he builds it on a hill. So here is definitely not shooting the ground. It's quite nice. can see the terraforming feature of Spring Commander. Gotta place things on flat ground. So both sides killed. Looks like actually Zlo was trying to bomb this. Wait, did he bomb the engineer? Oh yeah, he did. The engineer that was heading there for Thomas has been usurped by a bomber, and somehow Zlo's engineer has stopped moving. He should... No, he's going to reclaim the engineer. That's terrible. Oh, never mind. I'm terrible. He's dropping a whole bunch of units. Anti-air and... oh, 15% upgraded. Max here is going to get raided by a frigate. Zlo has 2 naval factories now. And suddenly it looks like we'll have naval warfare, which did not seem on the cards. It's not usually on the cards in on Finn's Revenge. But in a game where both players are actually making economy, then it's not too surprising that Navy becomes involved at some point. Zlo still comfortably ahead on the economy thanks to all those storages he has. Finally, we have quite a few T2 mexes, but no storage in the base, just a few outside the base. T2 land also for Thomas, and he's making MMLs to try and get rid of really the main defense that Zlo has, which is T2PD. This gunship has a lot of damage. I think this is the gunship that cleaned up both the islands of civilians. Excellent reclaim steal from Zlo. He's not taking the civ building. Never mind, he is taking the civ building. It just didn't show up for me for some reason. I blame anything other than myself. Bombers coming to raid, and a drop coming in from Zlo as well to the other island. These islands become very important because, I mean, 4 mexes on this map, significant. We have 4 in the base here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on each half of the map. So these 4 on the sides are very important. And also, once they're secured, it does take a certain level of investment to take them back. Some factories being recycled by Thomas, especially factories next to mexes, where he wants to get more storages around these mexes to allow him to get more economy. Maintains this factory for engineers. Other than that, he's probably going to have just 1 T2 factory. For now, he's not going to commit to support factories. And that looks to be a good decision because they would be wasted against the T3 land which Zlo is making. Zlo delayed T2 land for a long time. He's now made a few T2 units after going T2 land and then moved straight to T3 land. And this is quite a comfortable move he can make because there's not a big threat from T2 land or even really this gun ACU, as he's contained by the T2PDs. And also by the T2 air, he has to be scared. He can't really start to be aggressive, come around the back of the base or anything and use the water, because Thomas would have to be very confident of his air control to do that. Now, hanging around on the beaches seems to be quite good versus Cerberus turrets. So they just continue to shoot into the ground. The other side, Zlo has maybe ventured slightly too far forward with his hoplites, but they are running. So are the Medusa. Here goes one hoplite. MML is going after the TMD, but not doing enough damage to take it out, and skirmish will end as the units fall back to T2PD range. A lot of MMLs coming after Zlo's turrets, and this is quite good. Ooh, a factory goes down here on this side for Zlo. So one naval factory versus one naval factory. There's not a whole lot of damage you can do with T1 Navy. So really what you do with T1 Navy is kill opponent's production. You can raid like one mechs perhaps. You can give yourself some nice radar coverage, that's for sure. And you could also make subs versus an ACU. But in general, can't do too much. Now, Thomas has walked around the side and just killed a T2 mechs and all the storage there. Doesn't trust himself to walk any closer and take out the maybe steal the reclaim on top of that. Could have been an option, but instead he's going to walk back this way. There is still one turret here, but he could walk into this for sure. Now, how confident is he that there's no Corsairs or gunships that could potentially snipe him? I'm not sure. How confident is he in his air control? It doesn't look like he has... Well, it looks very even right now. I feel like he could take out a mechs for sure. Let's see, what we got 42 planes versus 34, so Zlo does have more. But not considerably more. 40% to T2 Navy. And he should know there's T3 land. It's on his radar. Literally. Not idiomatically. Slow steps forward to remove a lot of these MMLs. They didn't do a huge amount to kill some towers. Killed the TMD, but not all the TMD. Thomas has nicely spaced TMD. Ooh, and then so not so nicely spaced. That's he's making a T2 artillery. I think this is versus the T3 mobile artillery is why this has been made. Another factory goes down. Zlo has control of one of the islands. He's also defended it versus air. The torps are allowed to leave. Oh, here's another use for frigates. They can actually attack these units that are on this beach here. And they're going to take out a hoplite by the looks of it. As well as some T1 units. There's a lab in there for some reason, who knows, probably a misclick. If I had to guess, Thomas now tanking damage from 2 Cerberus turrets before taking one down. Oh, Trebuchet gets killed by hoplites, not before landing a couple of shots. 2 more Trebs are here, and that is a wild shot. That hits nothing. And now neither of them are really shooting. They are targeting the frigates, which is... Well, looks like they're gonna land some shots, but frigate's definitely not the preferred target of T3 mobile artillery, given their speed and high HP, relative low cost. It's low under some pressure here. Units, most importantly this unit right here, moving in on his position and overcharging another mags. And actually overcharge from the ACU does exactly enough damage to kill storages, Cybran storages, which are 800 mass, 800 health, sorry. One day I'll say the right words. Good overcharge from Zlo, takes out some Mantis. The rest are Medusa. If he stands still, he's gonna eat a decent amount of HP. It looks like it just got healed though, as he got his second vet. SPD getting some decent value, and oh, this trebuchet over here is doing quite a bit of friendly fire. Don't hit this treb, no. Just trebbed his own treb, and then the T2 artillery just with a Hail Mary shot across the water, takes out a factory and this trebuchet from Zlo. So Zlo's T3 land has not been that effective right now. Have to say, it has not done that much. The Trebs have been killed in a variety of ways, and have not done that much killing. I mean, if we were honest, I mean, Thomas did not have that much army to kill anyway, so maybe Trebs were not the best choice. There also weren't any fire bases really for Zlo to target. Uh-oh, this could end badly. First off, Thomas doesn't have much HP and is running out of vet, and now there are 2 bricks in his path, and he's overcharged 1, but does not have enough HP doesn't have enough energy to overcharge in 1 shot, so he only did about half damage to that brick. If Thomas had just been focus fired there by the bricks, I'm pretty sure he would have died, or been very, very close. Could have been quickly finished off by just a couple of torpedo bombers, because he has no stealth either, so definitely a missed opportunity for Zlo there. Thomas for sure could have died. Bricks showing their strength also. Zlo showing his strength with a T3 mass extractor. That'll protect you against raids. It's taken a long time to take back this mech, but I think it's mainly because of a certain Salem on this side of the map. Zlo not making T2 Navy, he is making frigates. Perhaps he'll make some slightly more stealthy T2 factory over here, although that would be quite dangerous. If it gets found, it could be easily killed. Would be difficult to defend it. 2 Salem, 3 Salems, and a Siren class cruiser for Thomas. Now this is the trade-off he has for having no T3 land and no T3 mechs. He's not making a T3 mechs either. Maybe he should consider making some of these investments. Okay, Trebs start killing stuff finally, and then continue killing Reclaim. The T3 land looks quite scary now. Now that it's not just Trebs. We do have a lot of Trebs, but 4 Loyalists, 4 bricks, and they're on the move. He's just aiming at Thomas's economy, and Thomas, with no T3 mechs, is going to feel these significantly. The brick gets within the minimum range of the T2 artillery. Here's the minimum range. Here's the maximum. And the shield defends the mechs for a while, but ultimately there's no amount of time that it could buy that would save this position, because there's nothing to come back and defend. Oh, Salem just got completely surrounded by... There's only 1 Salem left actually. This one also went down, perhaps also to... Well, it looks like it went down to frigates. I'm pretty sure T2 mechs in the base goes down, but there's 2 dead Salems. There's 3 dead Salems because this guy is in range of a brick right now. Surely he doesn't get away. Well, torpedo bombers have something to say. They don't want to allow this Salem to run. He's very vulnerable now to the frigates which are coming. He has to continue to run. All the torpedo bombers are going to die after a single pass. Maybe some will likely get multiple passes, but oh, Thomas also losing his air to these flaks, and this brick has done a huge amount of damage, killing T2 artillery, shield, TMDs, 2 T2 mexes. This brick over here I think has been dealt with by Thomas's ACU after it gets a single T2 mech kill. I was hoping to get this one as well, but fails. Looks like it even got a couple of shots off. Well, Thomas didn't lose all of his torp bombers, but he certainly lost several. Those are some dead trebuchets. I'm not sure how they died, but Thomas's powerful navy has been reduced to a less than stellar offering. We got one brand new Salem. We have 2 sirens. Hidden brick in the water should probably run home. You can repair for 75% of the price of building a new unit, so maybe a brick like this could be repaired at a discount. Looks like the Loyas I haven't seen do anything, and we're down to 3, so I'm wondering where they died. I really can't tell. I can't see any wrecks. I know we had at least 4. So where that 4th one went, I may never know. Perhaps it's already been reclaimed. Oh, that's it. I guess it got overcharged by the ACU, as usual. That's TML killing a T1 mech. Not sure if it was upgrading. Didn't get to see before it died, but that's probably what Zlo is hoping for. Probably better to just let it upgrade, I guess. T2 Navy aims to take back map control. Clean up the second island to be taken by Thomas, but Thomas has lost so much of his economy and so much of his navy there that these last couple of minutes have gone very poorly, and all this time Zlo has had a T3 mechs. This is a huge factor, and Zlo has begun his T3 Pigeon, making it slowly. Doesn't have the economy to quickly make this T3 Pigeon. Does have a nice amount of storage, which is quite helpful. Should really replace this T1 into a T2, re-upgrade it instead of this one, certainly in this one. But yeah, he's just going to slowly make this T3 Pigeon, and who knows what he'll do at that point. That will open up a lot of options. T3 Air is possible, but seems like it wouldn't be necessarily the best choice, given there's already T2 Navy from Thomas and already multiple cruisers. Still, it is possible. I mean, it's very difficult to defend the landmass using cruisers. Continuing to make T3 land seems like a good option. Switching his focus from T3 land, stopping T3 land and making T2 Navy instead also seems like it would be potentially winning choice, but we'll have to wait and see what Zlo decides. So ACU certainly can still be used in some aggressive capacity, I would say. Perhaps in conjunction with the T3 lands. These frigates are coming in again, and the Salem has to defend the Siren. The Siren can do a decent amount of damage, but the Salem is just not shooting right now, except for its torpedoes, which are certainly significant damage dealers, but nothing compared to the cannon. Well, frigates are going down. Salem will defend the cruiser for now, but more frigates are on the way, no doubt. Loyas dodge most of the missiles from those from that Corsair and head towards the base, where they can certainly get multiple kills. This is an upgrading T3 mechs, which is under threat from these Loyas. Zlo, you can see the upgrade happening. If Zlo was zoomed in, he would see it, even if he was at this range and he had the health bars on at all times, which I fully recommend. And it looks like he's gonna miss his chance there. Oh my god, that would make you quit the game if you lose that T3 mechs there. Sort of shocking that mechs was not being upgraded, but if it was being upgraded by like with assistance, I mean, it's shocking that it wasn't being assisted. But if it was, it would have been very obvious to Zlo that it was upgrading, and maybe it would have actually Cost that mechs its life. Although, or maybe the mechs would have already been T3 at that point. But, well, who knows. But that is a huge miss by Zlo, and very fortunate by Thomas that he didn't lose that mechs. I mean, just think, 75%. What's 75% of 4,600? It's a lot. Over 3,000 anyway. Was it 3,100 something? So huge amount of mass would have died there. Zlo still with the 1 T3 mechs, not investing in a second one as he still feels the danger from the T2 Navy and knows that Thomas does not have one yet, although he's about to finish one. So again, he doesn't want to continue investing in an economy in case it becomes an over-investment. At this point, he's just happy to have that mechs over Thomas and sit on it. The Trebs are firing. The Navy has to keep moving, otherwise it's gonna take a lot of damage. Some of these, all these T2 units have already been hit. If the Salem takes one more shot, it will go down, and that would be a very bad loss for Thomas. There it goes. Salem goes down. The cruiser can tank. This cruiser can tank only one more shot. 2 or 3 possible for this Siren. And there's constantly more frigates coming out, although far less now that most of the production has been killed. Oh, there goes another Siren. The other one also face tanks that shot, and now it's being focused by the frigates. The Siren is doomed. And Thomas loses all of his navy in Zlo's back garden. Salem being attacked by MML, the old MML defense versus T2 Navy. Problem is that MMLs, well, do MMLs have as much range as a Salem? This is esoteric knowledge. They have less range, yes, that's what I thought. 60 range on an MML, 80 range on a Salem. I know that one by heart, that's for sure. What does that make T2PD range? 50? We have to know. Yeah, it's 50. So still, 4 Salems out for Thomas. So his production is quite significant on T2 Navy, especially now he can probably afford it with his T3 mechs, and the generated mass looks quite even now as he has that T3 mechs. Will Zlo react with his own T3 mechs now? He has T3 Pigeon. He has made some Rhinos. No, Wagners. Sorry, I was going to be very confused there with the Rhinos, but Wagners make a lot of sense. He can send 1 or 2 to the islands and deal with those extra mechs, which are just free mass at this point. And really, the actual only difference between the two players' economies. The problem is he has to dodge the Salems with his Wagners, although that should be certainly doable. Brick taking free shots from multiple Salems. Needs to continue dodging. I'm sure Zlo has one of those. Yep, the classic auto dodge movement commands there. Just let your opponent shoot at your unit and hopefully dodge most of it. Unfortunately, it's a brick, and as it turns very slowly. And he is going to die very soon. Doesn't want to walk into the water as he'd leave no reclaim for himself, or well, half of what he has left. Zlo seems to be making an upgrade in the water. He is. What the hell? I'm pretty sure, first off, Zlo has made stealth, so reasonable. Cheap upgrade. Very effective in many scenarios. He is also making, however, as we can see from the huge drain that happens, minus 59 mass, minus 7,500 power when he unpauses. I'm pretty sure he's making the laser. Pretty sure. Cloak would not exactly be the play. I expect. You can see the drain is same for cloak and laser, but I'm gonna go with laser as a guess. So many trebs here. And there is a stealth, multiple stealth units as well to protect them from random air attacks or Salem's using their range. Actually, T3 artillery has what, the same range? Slightly more range than a Salem. Well, Zlow's making the laser, and he always has it. So this was the option that Zlow was thinking with the T3P gen. Said it opened a lot of options, and you know what? The laser makes a lot more sense as an option than T3 air in this scenario. Probably. Probably. It's certainly going to be less expected. This looks like a second T3 mechs for Thomas. Just about finished. Thomas still must be feeling like the T2 Navy is going to pay off in the end. And I would think so too, honestly. And now he probably feels pretty good because he's now has a second T3 mechs, meanwhile Zlo doesn't. T2 Navy is always, it's just so powerful that in the end, surely it will overwhelm the base. Especially with Salems, which can come onto the land, but even without that, the Salems can hit most things from the water and exert a lot of map control. But is he ready for this? Is he ready for this laser that is about to finish? And what is Zlo gonna do? Is he gonna make the gun? Because the gun will extend his range of his gun. It will also extend the range of his laser. So I kind of expect him to make the gun, but that will, well, because he has nothing around to assist him, the gun will take another minute and a half. It says 19 seconds here because he has T2, but of course he'll have to remove T2 to make the gun, so I think it's about 1 minute 40 to make the gun upgrade without assistance and without stalling. Does he have time to do that? His T3 HQ is now under fire. Surely these Salems can't stick around long enough to kill this though, because there's bricks moving into range. Some rhinos are moving in and doing nice raid here. Oh, the T3 factory's at 4,000 HP, and actually, yeah, Thomas backs out, runs away, loses one Salem, and the factory survives, and all of these units are repairing the factory right now. Not making units, that's quite a... Oh my god, you gotta be scared here. When your own trebs are firing towards your base, Zlo does not make the gun. He's walking... Is he on hold fire? That's hold fire. He's not revealing that he has the laser, although putting your ACU on hold fire may actually also reveal that you have the laser, because why the hell would you be on hold fire? What's he doing? He's capturing the T2 mechs with his T2 ACU. I love it. Costs 0 mass to do this. Only costs energy to capture things, and Thomas has not copped on that this is being captured, so he's not going to kill it in time. It's the only defense against capturing is Control King. Or killing whatever is capturing your stuff. How many bricks do we have? Because we had multiple bricks here. A couple of bricks definitely will keep units off the shore. Oh, that's another dead... Oh, look at this. Yeah, the Loyalist is much better at dodging than the brick. These Salems are doomed. They're just gonna die now. Oh my god. Yeah, they came onto land, and that's not gonna allow them to dodge the shots from all these trebuchets. Look at the decals. They're just... Treb warfare. Oh wow, this Salem came onto land as well. It could have actually died here. Zlo could have stayed behind the Salem and just shot it in the ass as it tried to run into the water. Maybe done a lot of damage to it with the low HP Loya, but sure. Lets it get away this time. Gradually. Zlo taking reclaim. He needs to start moving those NGs to get the rest of it. There's a lot of reclaim behind his base. Still a lot of reclaim right here on the shore as well. Brick dispatched to kill this NG with his torpedoes. Wagners do kill both the islands, take them out, and Thomas has a significant lead in economy now. He's also paused his 44% T3 mechs here at the front, probably out of fear of the commander and also fear of over-ecoing in this position where he seems to have done a huge amount of damage, and really the T2 Navy has proved its worth over the T3 land so far. Not sure what Zlo is doing here. Once again, he has the laser and has not used it yet, has not revealed that. I don't know if Thomas thinks he has the laser or not. He could well do. But this is very interesting. He's running away now. I mean, you don't want to fight T2 Navy with your ACU. The range difference is so vast, and the speed of an ACU is so slow that once an ACU is outranged, it's very, very bad for an ACU because they are, well, the slowest unit in the game. Except for maybe a Salem that's on land. I think actually a Salem on land is probably the slowest unit in the game. But an ACU is very slow. Has some nice anti-air. Needs to keep this alive next to his ACU to really feel comfortable. But again, the main threat to the ACU is definitely going to be the T2 Navy. And the T2 Navy main threat seems to be the T3 land. Bricks have gotten many Salem kills, and so have the trebuchets. Two T3 mexes for Zlo. He's not investing in a third at the moment. He's also not replacing some of his mexes and not being too well. He's now sending engineers to a lot of the reclaim. He has double the reclaim of Thomas. These Salems are in a very interesting position, heading towards the middle pond now. And it's such a bad position to be in. You do not want to be on land with the Salems in general. I mean, especially Loyalists would be fantastic against these Salems on the land now, because they can run in behind, they can get into range very, very quickly, and they have huge DPS. So some Loyalists would absolutely cream these. But even the bricks, even this brick tanks, it had what, 800 HP left, and it did nearly 2,000 damage to this Salem. So this brick is going to come out of the water and do big damage, I have no doubt. $125 damage per shot. This brick, stay in range, keep doing your damage. Cerberus is shooting the ground. Oh, now retargets to the anti-air. Now finally the Salems turn their cannons on the brick, and if he dodges a bit, he can avoid a lot of this damage from the Salems, but looks like he'll die without taking a Salem with him. Well, this one is brought low, and this one also took significant damage. Some jesters, not sure what their purpose is, but well, they're sniping deceivers. One deceiver dies, the other deceiver lives, but there's a target command given on the ACU, so the deceiver not having any impact right now. Once the Salems decide they have to turn around though, then they will not be able to target that ACU. Bricks now taking a how many? You know, you do see T3 Land versus T2 Navy sometimes, but I don't think I've ever seen such a huge amount of T3 Land versus T2 Navy battles. And Zlo has still not used his laser, not once. Oh wait, never mind, he has. Okay, I wonder when the first time he used it was then. Because we hadn't seen him use it up until then. But he had literally no other units around that could do damage, so I guess he just had to laser that guy. He's losing so much HP to the Salems now. He's lost well over half his HP, but the bricks have just come in behind and absolutely destroyed those 3 Salems. This brick now just about to die, had over 2,000 mass killed, goes down to cruisers on the shore. The cruiser's now under fire from the trebuchets. The torpedoes cannot target this ACU as he has stealth and is underwater, so without vision in the water can't be targeted or Omni. And this looks quite good for Thomas, for Zlo. Oh, the reclaim here is so huge. Both players have to put everything into taking this area right now. I mean, look at this. We have 15,000 mass on screen. Neither of these players have even 100 mass income. There's 15,000 in a very small area. This ACU is scared though. He doesn't want to commit to this position. He's scared. The T2 Navy is here controlling the area, but are there engineers gonna take this stuff? Okay, this is why you should normally give a... Oh my god. What hit that? Oh, he TML'd the factory. That's actually a very nice kill, because this is the engineer factory right next to the reclaim, so good TML there. Even though killing T1 factory is not usually good in that situation, definitely made sense. What is Lo gonna do? He is adding more T1 naval production. Look at all this reclaim. These are all dead scouts, I guess. There's a dead Wagner. Dead production over here. As reclaim scattered everywhere at this point. Salem versus... No, it's not a Salem. Brick versus a Siren. Now you can see the power of the torpedo bricks. Certainly more powerful than they used to be, that's for sure. They do actually do slightly more than a tickle. But not exactly a big damage dealer. Both players pretty casual with regards to this reclaim. I think they know that neither can really take the reclaim, as here we have T2 Navy covering and on this side we have trebuchets covering, but they shouldn't be distracted by other things. Corsairs, perhaps to keep the ACU at bay. If he decides to appear on the shore and start stealing some of this mass. T3 land for Thomas, finally. Now it is Zlo who is at the tech disadvantage, having only T1 Navy versus T2. All else is equal. And the generated income is equal. The army size is certainly not equal. Thomas has, of course, a very, very large amount of mass invested in T2 Navy, and Zlo has a significant land army. 8 bricks. And actually, I'm not including here the, oh, whoops. That was the wrong button. not including the 10 trebs. 8,000 mass invested in trebuchets. So Zlo actually has a lot more mass in T3 land than Thomas has in T2 Navy. Maybe because of Thomas's frequent wasting of his Salems and things. It could be. Also probably because Zlo has had just more mass in this game total by significant margin. That's probably the main reason, actually, as Zlo has lost a lot of his units. Here's 2 more bricks that look like they are for sure dead. One goes down, the second one only has 500 HP and actually escapes out of range somehow. A lot of frigates being built up, so he wants to gather a significant army so he can really force away these units and then come in and steal a reclaim, but well, somebody else is getting there first. Thomas is here, and I think that may, well, I'm pretty sure Zlo is about to send those frigates in. This is a very bad attack from Thomas. He finally makes some T3 land units and absolutely wastes them into bricks, shields, 2 on PD. Here comes the laser ACU, and he's too late to get any of the 3 Salem wrecks that are here and start stealing the bricks. But Thomas has already done much better. Thomas now making T3 P-Gen at significant cost to himself. He's really tanked his economy for a while to make that, and he's making an Omni after one T3 P-Gen. I'm not sure that is, well, he must really want that Omni, because that's a huge amount of his power. Like, it's going to be so much power, and also an Omni is a very expensive unit, over 1,000 mass. Let's see, never mind, over 2,000 mass. It's an expensive unit, so huge investment there from Thomas, let's be honest. Let's see how important this Omni is to him. You can see it's going to disable all stealth on his side of the map and slightly into Zlo's side of the map. He's going to get a good discount on the maintenance between these 2 P-Gens also. But is this really the best investment? He's now... Oh, the frigates were sent to the left side where there was only 2 T2 units, and they're both going to die. Both vets as well. Well, actually, no, the Salem isn't. Has significant amount of kills, so the cruiser over 4,000 mass kill is going to die. Zlo continues to keep the... Well, he continues to shoot it to the ground with his laser, I should say. Bricks. This brick is dying to 2 torpedoes from these 2 bricks. And this looks like really good fights for Zlo, as he just has the superior T3 army. He's taking these fights 4 versus 1 there. Another 4 versus 1 potentially available if Thomas doesn't retreat away. Corsairs dispatched. And another Salem is going to go down. This is a different one to the one we already saw here. And is Thomas really sending his navy around, all his T2 navy around to here? I don't know why he's doing that, to be honest. I have no idea. I guess he wants to bring it back around in case these bricks keep coming in, but that doesn't really make sense to me, as he can defend against these with the Corsairs. The 3 bricks are quite damaged now from the Corsair attacks. Stealthy Wagner kills some engineers. Zlo retakes a couple of mexes on this side. Continues building frigate army. Starts to make a 4th T3 mechs. He has a 2nd T3 P-Gen. He has a lot of hives in the base. It's a lot of build power here. which can be switched. Oh, he also has T2 artillery to protect himself from T2 Navy now, hopefully. Although those seem like a redundant investment now. Looking at the map, Zlo is in serious amount of control, and the T2 Navy is just out of position. And he's lost so much T2 Navy. Thomas has 2 simple frigates. Still stealing reclaim, which is a good thing, but that comes to an end. And Thomas has really lost map control big time. He's down to 4 mexes. They are all T3, which is great, but it's still only 4 mexes, and Zlo is going to have his 4 T3 mechs soon. And also this map control gives access to reclaim for Zlo. Can this T2 Navy really fight all those frigates? I mean, you certainly couldn't beat those frigates with this T2 Navy, but how is he going to do it? Is he going to have the good enough micro to keep the units alive? Also, he can beat the frigates, but what about when the Trebs are firing on him? He's taking a lot of free shots here. The Sirens can't tank too many shots from these guys. And again, he still has the laser ACU. At any time, the laser ACU could walk in and start lasering some bricks if he puts them out of position. There's a lot for Thomas to think about. There's just so many different ways that Zlo can hurt. Oh no, Corsairs coming in. No, what? He backed out of the snipe attempt, knowing that, well, he didn't have enough Corsairs, that's for sure. He would have got 1 pass. Definitely not killed Zlo, even with Zlo tanked every single shot there. These Corsairs would not have killed him. And that's not a good place to put the Corsairs. Yeah, he recognizes that. Starts to run them back away. And the Omni sensor is paused as Thomas makes an upgrade. But what is that upgrade, though? Did he also make the laser? Is he making the laser now? Oh, his T2 Navy is getting completely surrounded by frigates and killed. He's losing everything. Cue the saddest music in the world. He has made the laser. I'll make stealth, I think. I would make stealth. That would help. But he's not making stealth. How is he going to get to this ACU? And also, if he does get the ACU, they have almost the exact same HP, but Thomas has the gun, so Thomas outranges Zlo's commander with the laser. And this could be very important. Like, that's a huge disadvantage for Zlo if it comes to it. But the difficulty is, well, first, Thomas is probably going to take out some of these bricks anyway with his laser, and then Zlo should never allow the ACU near him at that point. So, Zlo is going to save some of the bricks. No, Thomas is not moving in with this. Oh, he's actually retreated from the bricks. It's such a bad move. Gotta say, that was a terrible move. But he only kills 1 brick there. The other one, you can see, nearly went down. And Zlo is not going to leave the water. He's going to, I mean, 5 bricks will do some damage to his ACU. But not a whole lot, given that he has 43 regen per second. He's now reclaiming a brick gradually. And he has T2 ACU, so he's going to reclaim at a decent pace. And just gonna get some nice reclaim. Also, because he's reclaiming, pretty sure he's gonna get, yeah, he's gonna get full value from that brick, even though it's underwater because, well, reasons. But yes, he gets full value from that brick and loses basically no HP because he's gonna regen to full very quickly. And yeah, look at this graveyard of shipwrecks. Random corsairs flying around, not sure what the hell they've been doing, but they're dying to frigates. And I mean, yeah, Zlo knows exactly where Thomas's AC is at all times. He has scouts patrolling in from factories from the sides, and he has T2 radar, so he should be pretty safe. But still, I mean, there are a lot of bricks out for Thomas, and he does still have T2 Navy, even though he's lost, I mean, he's lost so much. He still can take all of this reclaim. Looks like these bricks got some, did they get some good fights, or how did everything die here? Probably Corsairs actually, right? Yeah, these Corsairs have some vet, so I think Corsairs took out a lot of bricks here. So there's still a lot of reclaim here, still a big army. 8 bricks can probably take on any separated army of Zlo's bricks. He only has 9 bricks after, I guess he lost quite a few here. So if these 8 bricks come out of the water, snag half of Zlo's army, oh, it's gonna happen. So this could be a great fight for Thomas if he gets out of the water before Zlo gets in. Well, he's gonna do a lot of damage at least, but not kill this whole army. Looks like Zlo will save his bricks. Ooh, this guy just ducks under. Still, scary army here. Oh, a strap bomber. That's gonna solve a lot of problems for Zlo. He doesn't have stealth on for some reason. There he goes, he clicks it on. And then Zlo comes back out of the water after softening up at least half the army of Thomas, and wins the fight. So that went about as well as it could have for Zlo. Pretty incredible. These cruisers need to be used, and but again, there's frigates coming. Another big frigate army here, and so much of this reclaim is still here. Actually, all of this reclaim is still here. So, yeah, the T3 error is a big problem now. A big problem. Thomas, Plan C? Plan D, perhaps? It's a spider bot. So he's given up on... Yeah, the laser comm really was a failed experiment. Probably induced by Zlo's own... Well, I don't think Zlo's was a failed experiment, but it certainly allowed him to do some things that he could not have done otherwise, but didn't exactly kill a lot with the laser. But the idea of the laser probably kept his ACU quite safe in advanced positions. Thomas, however, didn't really get any value out of his laser, I would say. Except for maybe killing 1 brick, 1.5 bricks. Maybe got Zlo's ACU to leave, or run away a bit, but yes, Thomas certainly catching up on reclaim. He's stealing several brick wrecks here, but now bricks come out of the water, and also Zlo's getting a lot of reclaim here. And Thomas is not getting any more of this, as his units are on the other side of the map, taking more fights, and probably dropping more reclaim. Trebs on their stealth and shields over here, looking quite nice. And the ACU comes out of the water and is going to get focus fired immediately, but will lose how much? He's down 6,000 and he still has 10,000 HP as he gets into the water. And all these bricks are going to die now. Hunter maybe can be taken down, that would be a decent kill. Attacking bricks is not going to be that useful. Reclaim will be softened up a bit by the trebuchets. But, oh my god. Would you look at that? Fucking deja vu. More frigates killing more T2 Navy. Thomas, there's now bricks in the base, and they're probably going to be donations, really. As they walk into a brick, this brick is even going to survive. T2BDs from the Cybern helps out. We are at 1 hour and 5 minutes on Finn's Revenge. Thomas is about to finish a spider. I don't know why he's making another brick. That mass should be going into the spider. Nothing else matters but getting the spider finished. Somehow brick kills a jester. Thomas losing Navy to T1 when he's at T2 the entire game, and many more ridiculous things are happening and have happened. What's the spider gonna do? This is the main question. It completes now. It completes now. Sorry. And what does Lo do now? He sees the spider, that's for sure. Has he noticed beforehand? Doubtful, given I don't see any real reaction to it except for the strats. The strats are, well, I mean, look, Slow has build power in his base. He has hives, he has 10k mass in the bank, so he could try to make a spider. Now, it would have been nice if he had tried to make it, like, started it like 2 minutes ago, but he can't have everything. Just have so many frigates, this is ridiculous. Is he gonna make T2 Navy? Maybe? Or is he just gonna make strats? Or is he just gonna make bricks and hopefully gather all of his bricks in one place, use the bricks plus the strats to defend? This is an option. Maybe he comes out of the water right behind the spider bot and shoots it in the back with the laser and it's already lost HP. What's gonna happen? Like, I'm very confused, but I also think Zlo can deal with this somehow. I think he has enough options. Oh, he needs to save these bricks though. Cannot be feeding the vet to the ACU, maybe to the spider bot, but also distracting the spider bot, and then the spider bot's running the other direction. That's really bad for Thomas. Also, Thomas has no anti-air. Where's the mobile anti-air? He knows their strats. Tries to dodge Cybern strats. This is not possible. Their AoE is too great, and the strats get passes. They're all going to survive because there's nothing to kill them. And now he's making anti-air, but his spider bot has been delayed so much and it's lost 10,000 HP. I mean, now there's going to be 5 strats, 6 strats, or maybe there's just going to be gunships. There's certainly going to be more bricks. Could even be a spider in retaliation, but it doesn't look like Zlo wants to go for a spider. Thinks he can defend with his air. And this looks quite bad for Thomas. And having no anti-air versus T3 air with your spiders, quite suicidal. Finally some subs from Thomas, so he's found a unit that can kill frigates without taking any damage. Fortunately, he is still losing his T2 Navy that isn't submarines. And that hurts. Somehow he hasn't lost his production to the T1 Navy, but he has lost everything else, so... There's so many more frigates, and also Zlo has made T2 Navy. He's also making a T3 air support factory in range of his hives. And he's making ASF. Looks like the spider bot found those bricks. Found some bricks. That's good for it. Got some veterancy, but it did take more damage from the strats once again, down to under 30,000 HP. And it's on the left side of the map now. Not sure why this ACU was trying to build a load of hives there, but he was. Oh, T1 T1 torp defense versus Barracuda. It's not a good fight for the Barracuda. I mean, both of they can take out the torp defense, that's for sure, but not if they don't attack it. It's gonna attack NGs and more drops onto that spider. It's under 20,000 HP now. Very good use of strats from Zlo. They actually, oh no, they don't all survive. One dies, plunges into Zlo's base. Needs some air staging to repair these guys. Zlo taking all the reclaim from this dead navy. That's simply not fair. Maybe Zlo could make a second spider. Or Thomas, I mean. No, he couldn't. He has no mass. Also, it looks like he's lost his... losing Barracudas to these guys. I lost one Barracuda. So that torp defense. There are a whole lot of beetles here. Now, I suppose that would defend against the spider coming up out of the water. But other than that, I'm not sure what they'll do. I also defend against maybe that laser ACU appearing out of the water. Maybe, although maybe not. What is the plan here? It seems like Zlo could kill a lot of stuff by just strap bombing it. We're approaching 1 hour and 10 minutes on Finn's Revenge. Zlo has made air staging and is repairing his strap bombers. At least that one. Where are the other ones? Here they are. They are in need of repair. They're busy. First off, they're gonna ruin the life of that brick. By ruin, I mean end. That's a couple of wasted bricks from Thomas there. Reclaim donated. And Zlo has T2 Mexes on the island while only having T1 Navy versus T2 Navy. Well, no, sorry, I'm lying. He does have T2 Navy now, but well, you get the point. A lot of subs for Thomas. Those would have been pretty useful earlier on, but now that Zlo has T2 Navy, they are a lot less useful. Maybe that's why Zlo went T2 Navy, actually, because of the subs. Maybe he could have made Zlo go T2 Navy a lot sooner. Or maybe Zlo just decided to go T2 Navy regardless of the subs or not. What's the plan? Zlo seems to just be content to continue. Thinks he's in a solid position, doesn't need to end the game. And also isn't in position to end the game just yet. Does have the mass lead, total mass by a long way. He has the generative mass lead. He has reclaim available to him. He's continuing to get more reclaim made available to him by Thomas. maybe Zlo is angling for the naval victory. Although it seems unlikely without a lot of torpedo bombers, especially. Simply making naval unit seats seems unlikely to overcome Thomas. Well, yeah, there's so many subs here. These have to die for Thomas to lose navy. But if they do, it actually, there's not much left after that, to be honest. Still, Zlo has the massive frig production, although actually he's stopped producing frigs now. Here come the strats, and guess what? It's another 3 bombs dropped on this spider. And unfortunately he is going to lose all of those strats, but look at the huge investment that Thomas has made in anti-air now. Oh, the mobile bombs, the fire beetles are here, but they didn't do a huge amount there. They got something done, but not much. Ooh. Yeah, they got a bomb away on it, so the anti-air didn't kill it. But yeah, not especially effective. Not especially effective. Second spider's on the way, but it's going to take a while. And actually it may never be completed looking at this, because... oh wow, all these T2BDs are in range of frigates. It's not the greatest position to put them in, to say the least. Thomas may be losing his production to frigates right now, finally. He's lost all of his navy to frigates a lot, many times, but now his production is really under risk. Thomas can't really afford to spam up defenses very quickly. Still committed fully to the spider bot, not really changing his ideas there. But he doesn't have enough navy to defend this, surely. Only has 2 cruisers. This factory is nice, it's tanking a lot of damage, blocking the frigates. Pathfinding has really screwed the frigates up, and they've sat in range of 3 Cerberus turrets, so I guess there's still a chance he doesn't lose his production, but it still looks, well, yeah, I guess he does hold on somehow to his production, but you gotta think that, oh yeah, there goes all the submarines. Ouch, that hurts. That's really bad. Another cruiser goes down. All the engineers are gonna go down to the frigates, and on the other hand, a second spider is gonna finish. Now the spider can deal with this. I'm quite confident the spider can deal with this, not without taking significant damage, because there's 10 bricks here. That's a lot of bricks. 12,500 mass, but spider bot is 20,000 mass. Huge DPS. If this spider comes across here, kills this base, the other spider can potentially move forward. Well, there are still a lot of bricks. All the strats are dead now, so those will have to be replaced at significant cost as low. But I remember there's T3 gunship. Where is it now? Oh, here it is. It's at the front line. That's not gonna last too long, surely. Right? What is this? I mean, this is crazy. So, T3 gunship is flying in. It's dead now. There's a laser commander. There's a full HP spider now. That's gonna just... oh my god. Zlo's gonna lose his whole army. T3 Mex goes down. But this spider... oh, it's walking over to the T3 Mex wreck. No. Well, there goes that mass. But... oh, the other spider should not come back here. I don't think it's needed, actually. The T2BD's also getting good value until they start shooting into the ground. Look at this. The fresh spider just taking out multiple bricks. Unfortunately, it's walked over the wreck, so that damages the reclaim. But another brick is going to go down. It's headed towards its first vet level. He's going to continue walking over the wrecks. There's also a lot of bricks coming in on the right side, and if Thomas doesn't spot this, then They could walk through the base. Also, his ACU is coming... Oh, he's just... Okay, I see. Thomas is now all in, it seems, with the 2 spiders and his ACU. That's what it looks like here. He's just gonna walk, and hopefully... He hopes to just walk through the base. Of Zlo. T3 gunships. That's all that Zlo is making right now. I mean, is he making more Navy? Navy is certainly going to have some use to him. There's still 5 anti-airs, and those are being targeted now by this brick. Any anti-airs he takes out are huge, and he's taken out 2. Thomas needs to save these guys. He's making more as well, but he can't defend against this. He cannot defend against these this brick army, I don't think. The spider at the front is tanking so much damage. It's and the anti-air is out of position. Finally, it takes out some of the gunships. The spider micro leaves a lot to be desired, but the spider should kill everything in range, and I think it's going to get to a 2nd vet level. The bricks are coming in from the base. Yeah, it's going to get a lot of vet off the trebuchets. I think the torpedoes... I don't know if they landed any of those shots there. I think it may have gotten out of the water just in time. There's no anti-air left, and the gunships are just doing free damage. The spider's gonna go down, and the 2nd spider is gonna take a lot of damage afterwards. Spider, it's so close to a vet, but it goes down just before it gets another vet level. I would have kept it alive a little longer, and Thomas control K's as his base goes down to this brick army. Even though he has a spider alive, he can't defend it at all from the gunships. He can't defend his base. I mean, losing the T3 Pigeon already means he has no energy income anymore. And the game ends. Zlo finally manages to end it. Holy crap. 1 hour 15 in game. And that was really a ridiculous game. And also felt like it was still winnable for both players at the very end. I mean, not after the final moves of the spiders and the bricks at the bottom, but like before that, where we have, I mean, Zlo comes into the base, loses most of his brick army to the fresh spider. At that point, Thomas has a chance. And before that, Thomas had a chance when he first had the first spider out. That could have done a lot, but he was lacking anti-air. God, what a ridiculous game. Close till the end. 2 laser comms, 2 spiders on Finn's Revenge. Strats, gunships, bricks, Loyas, Salem's, Sirens, Barracudas, Wagners, T2 Mexes on the islands without naval control. The list goes on. Well, not much more to say about that, but thanks for the game, Zlo and Thomas. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And tune in soon for more content. See you next time, guys.